But welcome everybody. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button.
I remember in middle school when you felt self-conscious if you were the last one to go through puberty. That really went topsy-turvy, didn't it?
Sometimes the it's too much explaining yourself and it's too apologetic.
Be sure to hit the notifications bell.
I actually do believe Israel won't just bomb countless civilians.
Be sure to tweet this out. Be sure to put this up on your Facebook.
You have to be kind to people. Being kind is the guys in this mess in the first place.
Put this up on your Reddit.
Chile is a country.
Be sure to cut and paste, a link to this to go into your favorite Facebook chat group.
It's good to see so many normal people in here.
Now, spanking isn't just my deep, dark personal secret. It's America's deep, dark secret.
I've never seen it explained so simply anywhere.
Put this on WhatsApp. Put this on Telegram. Put this on your favorite messenger app.
Hello and welcome to the Untitled Anarchist Seagull channel. I'm your host, an Untitled Anarchist Seagull called Elise. How's everybody doing, chat? So yesterday we got to watch a CPI cult member and a member of the CIA spin-off cult, the Moonies, talk about how a Trotskyist song was not biblically accurate. And Ben Shapiro, when he said that there were evil left-wing ideas that had consequences, he didn't mean free healthcare. It turns out he just meant thinking that Muslims should be allowed to live. That was interesting. So I've got some other stuff to look at today, as always, and thought we might kick it off with Asgold, who I believe is still suspended because of exceeding his slur quota. And he has something on how women have allegedly gone insane. I'm sure this is about to be a very measured take. As always, let me know if I need to adjust the audio.
Angry young women. I guess they must have just got done watching my stream.
I mean, okay, rare moment of insight.
The new feminism reshaping Britain. So it was a Wednesday night.
I mean, already, I have a feeling that this is going to be not a very great article because the New Statesman has been one of the major platforms for TERFs in Britain.
Oh, here we go. There's a lot more of this. Dating men with different political views, they all immediately said, no, I don't think I'd even be friends with one. They don't even see you as human, and this is it. Made her a pick-me. Oh, yeah. And I think that women have been totally one-shot by social media.
Totally what?
And I think the reason why is that social media hacks women's brains. I think
Oh, okay, so we're good. I'm glad that we get to have a neuroscience take from Asmongold. I'm sure that this is going to make lots of sense.
Unique way, in a different way that it hacks men's brains, right? Like with men, it's sex, but like with women, I think it's consensus.
Wait, what? And I just noticed he calls himself a professional neckbeard, and I mean, that's actually true. Christ, this motherfucker has 1.2 million followers? Jesus. Wow, so it's sex versus consensus. Really? Okay.
Because once you establish a consensus on something, a lot of women just automatically go and they agree with it. They're like, yeah, so true, so true. But that's...
Wait, he thinks that just all that you have to do is establish a consensus on something and women will just agree with it. Okay. Yeah, this is, this is already looking like it's going to make a ton of sense.
It's not how something like that works. So, yeah.
You're the one who just said it was.
calling strike? I guess so. And so anyway, we'll look at this here, and I'll look at the Justin Bieber thing, but that's a good example.
Of what?
Strikingly, young women are a lot more negative about the opposite gender than young men. Look.
Well, I mean, I think, how could anyone possibly have a low opinion of young men? I mean, just look at Asmongold.
Look at this here. Under 30 women are 3x as likely to hold a negative view of young men than the other way around. So men don't really like, I mean, and this is, by the way, guys, all of the talk of like, oh, there's so many incels. I hate incels. Oh.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, everybody does.
Oh my God, they're everywhere now. Oh, God. Where have all the good men gone? Well, where have all the good women gone?
Well, wait, women who will sleep with Asmongold? I mean, admittedly, probably a very tall order.
They all fucking hate us.
Well, yeah, like, of course they hate you. Like, all normal people fucking hate you. You're a shitty person.
They hate us. And meanwhile,
You suck.
the amount of actual incels. So, women, we have guys, we have to deal with the incels.
Motherfucker, you are one of them.
You understand that? We are the people that are suffering from incels.
You're not suffering from incels. You're one of the people making other people suffer from incels.
It's just that the incels...
But I mean, I like the thinking here that, seeing like fucking fucked up neckbeard incel assholes as a problem. I mean, actually, I don't know where he's taking this, but I mean, does he realize that they're probably his main audience?
Women. That's it. And take a look at the graph. The graph says this. I'm not saying this. The graph is saying this. They created them. Yes, the femcells heard us. They have. And
No, wait a second. You assume that just because these women don't have a very high opinion of men, that doesn't mean that means they're not having sex? Why would you assume that?
Is men under 30 have a 72% positive outlook on women. Women under 30 have only a 50% positive outlook on men. Women under 25, only 35%. Think about how crazy.
So what happens in those 5 years?
Dude. The thing is that, like, if there actually are, like, overlords, if Israel really does control the world...
Oh, great. Wonderful. This is where we've ended up.
Can you imagine how happy they are right now?
Why would they be happy that women under 30 have a low opinion of men?
Can you imagine they're like, oh, bro, we have all the goyim fighting. They hate...
Oh, God. Like, wait, I mean, do you think that... Does he think that Jewish women aren't included in this sample? That Jewish women have a higher opinion of men? What? Like, what? Like, I mean, but it's really impressive how he manages to do anti-Semitism in things where that isn't even the topic.
Hate each other, like everybody's addicted to drugs. You know, they think that if they look better, they're gonna be happy, but now we're gonna raise their interest rates again. And
like, I mean, this is just, like, this is not dog whistling. Jesus Christ. Like, how, I mean, I can see why he is actually sort of shocked and dismayed when he actually gets kicked off the platform, even temporarily, for hate speech, because, like, how the hell would he even know that you weren't supposed to do that on the platform? Because He gets away with this shit. Jesus. So many... And of course his fucking chat is running with it.
And they're not going to have any money. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a bullshit stat. I don't think it is.
Oh, I mean, there was a bullshit thing. Like that entire thing that he just said.
I don't. I think this is real. And so maybe I turn Judaism to get a woman.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that will not. That is not why you can't get laid. Watching Asmongold probably has a lot more to do with why you can't get laid.
Well, I don't know. But women under 25...
Oh, I don't know.
35% of women under 25 have a positive view of the opposite gender. Think about how crazy that is.
I mean, let's note that these are British stats. I mean, we don't know if this is the same in the US. This is a British group in a British publication. I mean, it wouldn't exactly shock me if the US had similar figures, to be clear. But mostly this is showing that, like, under 30 women in Britain have standards.
Like, that's like 1 in 3 women likes men. Think, really, 1 in 3 women likes men.
What percentage of men does that mean are actually appealing to women, then?
Wow. Wow. Is yellow neutral? Yes, yellow is neutral. And so 27% of women under 25 hate men. Almost more women hate men.
Oh, hang on. I can't actually... I have my chat window where I can't actually see what... Okay, so 50% is positive. Okay, 29% neutral. And 27% is negative. So... I mean, that means actually, like, you still got, I mean, that means 79% actually are saying that they have a positive or neutral view. It's worth noting, if you actually put those together. There are, in other words, considerably more women under 30 who don't have a negative view of men then have a negative view. It's 79 to 21.
Then like men. That is insane. This is crazy. Like, I don't, like, how do you even get here? It's just...
I wonder if guys like you might be something to do with it.
It's insane to even imagine something like this true. Young women are 26 points less favorable to capitalism than young men and feel much more positively towards communism than capitalism.
Yay!
Women under 25 dislike capitalism so much they view it as unfavorably as fascism.
Nice. Nice. The kids are all right.
The UK should play slavery reparations by a 2-to-1 margin.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this seems like good news to me. And it is just just another example of how you'll hear all these right-wing politicians. They do it in Britain too. Like the exact same bullshit as the U.S., where you'll have like these right-wing consultants who say that actually, like, Labour has to be really hardline right-wing in order to be electable. And if you actually look at what most people have to say when they're asked about the issues, they do not actually agree with right-wing positions on most things.
They think 43 to 40%, it is unfair that some people have more than others and we should redistribute wealth over people deserve to keep what's theirs, even if that means others have less.
I mean, good. And not all that surprising, because if you're getting a representative sample, you're going to get a lot of broke women.
More negative than young men about their careers, earning potential, and property. Now, I could give you my analysis
would you?
of this.
Oh, wow. We're going to get his analysis of this. I wanted nothing more.
But number one, you already know what it is. And
do we? I mean, I know it sucks shit, but I don't know that I know exactly Was it the anti-Semitic thing from a minute ago?
Number 2, I would get banned.
Like, if you didn't get banned for that shit a minute ago, I don't know what would get you banned. It seems to be random.
So, I will just simply discuss the topic. I'll simply discuss the topic. That's
Okay.
all. No more vacations. Yes, no more vacations. And anyway, this is just... Somebody says, hoes eternally mad. It seems that way. The young, middle-class, educated white women feel the most strongly about these issues. You know what's crazy?
I mean, the definition of middle class is always nonsense, and it's especially nonsense in Britain.
Is that we thought you needed a study to figure this out? You needed... Wait a minute. So you had to do, like, research? Like, you could have just asked me, I would have told you this.
Told you what? That young, educated white women feel the most strongly about these issues? Yeah, but I mean, then it's just what some asshole on Twitch says. Why are we going to ask some random asshole on Twitch what women in Britain think, when we could ask women in Britain what they think?
I didn't need... Like, you didn't need to do all this. Like, what's all this money getting wasted over nothing? So young women are communists? So I think that the reasons why young women feel this way... So let me explain all...
Oh, great, we're going to get to hear why he thinks women feel this way.
All of the reasons. Actually, let me go through everything, and then I'll explain it, okay? Female graduates heard much more positive views about communism, feminism, and socialism, and Extinction Rebellion, rather than non-graduates. Grads are more likely to back... Oh, slavery... I thought slavery reparations. I was about to say, like, damn.
He was about to celebrate that.
Okay, all right. But say we need more government intervention to ensure life is fair.
It's worth noting, these are broadly in line with the population as a whole. Like, the last British social attitude survey that I saw had a huge percentage of the population saying that the real priority needs to be doing something about inequality, even if that meant government intervention into the economy.
And white...
Yes, it's Asmold, and he's explaining... He's explaining British women's opinions to us.
Women are more critical about the country and their chances in it than those from an ethnic minority background.
Okay, that's kind of wild, because white women are are in a much better position in the country and have much better chances in it than those from an ethnic minority background. I mean, that actually begins to make me wonder how they were sampling women from a black and minority ethnic background. That this is what they this is what they came out with.
White women are more likely. So wait a minute. White women are more likely to say the country's racist than people that are not white.
Yeah, I mean that seems that already does not make a whole lot of sense, unless they were saying racist and sexist. At the same time,
young white women are less likely to feel like they feel valued by society. There is a COVID generation.
Under 25s are more likely to think COVID had a significant impact on their lives and opportunities. So under 25s are more likely to have some realistic assessment of it.
U25s are more likely to think COVID had a significant impact on their lives and opportunities. Under 25 women think that it's much more likely to believe that things are stacked against me no matter how hard I try.
I mean, not surprising, because shit gets worse from generation to generation.
Oh my god. 6 in 10 would find it difficult to date someone who disagreed on Gaza.
Well, I mean, yeah. Why, you're gonna, what? Why the fuck would anyone want to date someone who supports fucking genocide? Fuck up.
3 out of 4 say the same views about Donald Trump, with even more saying...
Okay, yeah, like, why the fuck would anyone want to do... So, what I love about this is that this is just making the point that all these manosphere guys who, like, claim that they've got the fucking Konami code to get you laid and everything, and it's like, actually, like, having less horrible opinions would probably would be a start.
They wouldn't date someone who disagreed with social justice. So here's the big problem with this.
I mean, whatever the fuck, the term social justice is so broad and vague, fuck knows what they are even understanding that to mean, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't exactly surprise me. Like, if somebody's cool with racism, that's not somebody you necessarily want to date. Unless you suck.
The birth rates. The birth rates of these people that are super liberal like this is like 0.6.
Yeah, citation needed.
It's like 0.6 or 0.8. Like, you want to talk about extinction? You're doing it. You're doing it to yourself. So...
Wait. See, the assumption here that he's making is that just because these women have a fairly significant percentage of... Like, well, actually, it's not even a significant negative percentage. It's like, okay, the negatives are 27, 21, 7. 27% is a lot in a general election. Like, that is just barely, that's just a little bit less than Labour got and won that huge majority in Parliament. But, you know, neutral is already 10 points higher, and positive is, well, 2 points lower than that. Positive has 50% versus negative and neutral at 29 and at 21 and 29% respectively in the under 30s, and then men under 30s, 72% think highly of women, 7% don't. Like, that's the 7% who really gravitate towards shitheads like Assmold, and then 21% are kind of neutral. So that does not mean that these women are not actually, you know, meeting people. It just means that they have standards.
So is all chat incels? Yeah, all of the incels.
Yes, all of Assmold's chat is almost certainly incels. Like, and if they weren't, the minute anyone realizes that they're hanging out in Assmold's chat, that will be enough reason. That's like, they're not getting laid again after that.
On the internet right now are here. This is like the main. They call it the main base of operations. And this is where they get their orders from on, like, which innocent nice girl to harass and humiliate on today. And
yeah, I mean, the thing is, he says this sort of shit like it's a joke, but it's actually, I mean, it's kind of accurate.
We'll get to that later on, okay? Don't worry about it. But anyway, women are the gatekeepers of sex.
What? Women aren't even necessarily involved in sex. And why shouldn't everybody involved be the gatekeeper?
And men are the gatekeepers of relationships.
Wow, that's so original. Where did you read that? Did you come up with that yourself?
Saikuno. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this.
Oh, yes, let's.
A secret Discord chat? No, it's true. It's undeniably true. Everybody knows it's true. So, Top Solo, I don't know about that. And he wasn't in a relationship with them. I think that's a great example. So, yeah, so this is what I think is happening, is that I think that a lot of these people, what's happened is that women nowadays go on social media whenever they're very young, and this is my, like, I actually think this is a big problem. I think a lot of women got groomed whenever they were kids on the internet, and it's made them hate men. Straight up. I think that's a huge factor.
Wait, it was so you're saying that the problem is that a lot of women have really shitty experiences with men? Like, he just admits that, he just says that straight up. Like, yeah, that actually is a big part of the problem. Because when you actually ask those numbers, like, what was the first time that you were, like, sexually harassed? How old were you? The numbers come back and it's like 12. So, yeah, actually, there's a reason that women have a lower opinion of men than men have of women.
I think that some girl goes on Instagram at 14 years old and she gets a bunch of grown men trying to talk to her, and it makes her hate men.
Well, yeah. Actually, I'm actually surprised to be saying this, but yeah, this is a big part of it. So maybe you guys are the fucking problem. Maybe guys like this, because the guys who want to feel okay about harassing a 14-year-old girl on the internet are the kind of guys who show up in the chats of guys like Assmold. So yeah, this is your fucking fault, Assmold. This is your fault, your chat's fault, like all the other motherfuckers like you.
I think it's a huge problem. It's a massive problem. Gigantic problem.
So wait, that women feel this way about being sexually harassed from a young age, or that men are sexually harassing them from a young age? And if you're saying the latter, then why wouldn't you spend more time telling, like, your audience of creepy incel dickheads not to do that kind of shit?
And, like, think about that, right? And like, I was 9, I got groomed on MSN. That's pretty early.
God, on MSN,
I mean,
too.
that's really early. Tumblr fucked a lot of girls up. Ooh. What I'm saying is that all Tumblr and everything else, my point is that all of that anti-men messaging, think about how much of a multiplier effect it is for all of these underage girls to have dozens of, like, grown-ass men in their DMs trying to talk to them.
Well, wait a second. Well, maybe you've got it backwards. Maybe it's actually that the reason they have such a low opinion of men is they have so many experiences with men being shitty to them. You had it right the first time.
And if you don't believe me that this is happening, talk to any girl that you know that was on the internet while she was underage, and
I mean,
she's gonna.
This was happening before the fucking internet. This is on the streets too. This was, like, even if they're not on the internet, like, they're getting sexually harassed when they're just walking to the shops or some shit like that.
Tell you that it's fucking true, right? It is. So, and it's a huge, massive fucking problem.
Okay, I mean, yes, especially for the women in question and the girls in question. So how are you going to manage to turn this actually surprisingly, shockingly, in fact, valid point that you just made into something fucking horrific?
And so, like, and this is the issue with that problem, okay? And
okay, we gotta find out what the issue with the problem is.
I'm gonna explain. So this is...
Oh, he's gonna draw a chat. He's gonna draw it for us. Great.
Is a nice... It's a nice, beautiful day, okay? It's a great day.
Okay, that's what that is?
The sun is out, the grass is green, and, we gotta do the sun. Okay. So this is the sun. And there is a tree. There is a tree in the meadow that begins to grow.
Okay. There's a tree in a meadow. And the sun is strangely muted.
This tree is a 13-year-old girl. And yes, I know I talk about things. I'm going to say one thing really quick. I talk about these things.
Why do you need a fucking botanical metaphor for this? Are you just assuming that your chat is so far removed from the concept of girls that they need that explained to them first?
Matter-of-fact way. I speak in very plain English. If this offends
this is true.
You, if this upsets you, if this bothers you, if this makes
you're probably not already not watching.
Uncomfortable? Good. Welcome back to reality.
Okay, but let's get back to your weird fucking metaphor.
I hope you enjoy your stay. Here's what happens.
Okay. EDP. I mean, we don't... Whatever happened to the tree here? What...
Just a minute, I'm trying to make this good. Okay.
I don't think he's capable of making anything good. He shouldn't...
So, this is kind of what happens, is that you have this girl, and...
She's a tree.
Inside of whenever she's like, let's say, just theoretically, 15 years old, right? What happens is that she gets groomed on the internet to meet or to deal with some guy that is a good bit older than her. And that interaction damages and reframes her entire life.
I mean, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop here, because I mean, this is, like, actually, I mean, weird fucking drawing aside, not actually strictly I wouldn't call this strictly wrong so far, but it's Asmongold. We know it can't last.
In the exact same way, metaphorically, that if you grow a bonsai tree and you pull a branch down, or a tree...
It's a bonsai. Bonsai is a completely different thing.
Tree grows around a tree, or sorry, it grows around a fence, or something like that. So this is what happens, is that they have this happen when they're very young, and it totally changes the developmental...
Well, it's not just when they're very young, it keeps on going.
Example. Here's another parallel to even lock this down even more. Look at what happens with people that were abused. How many sexual abusers turn out to have been sexually abused?
Nowhere near as many as you would think, based on how often that trope is expressed.
There's a term for it. There's vocabulary for this. It's the cycle of abuse. So guess what? Do you really think this doesn't happen over here? Just don't be a woman. Simple. Well, nowadays, apparently, that's possible. So is this going to be in an NFT? Yeah, you need to explain the EDP thing to chat. Oh, this guy was like a YouTube pedo and he tried to meet a 15-year-old girl and bring her cupcakes. That was the joke, for anybody that doesn't know.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, that's a lovely joke.
And so the moment that you get groomed...
Oh, that's supposed to be a fucking cupcake. I was trying to figure out what that was.
Guy like this, it's going to shade your perspective on... Like, a good example of this is like... Did you guys ever have like a scary movie whenever you were a kid, and that scary movie like caused you to like it fucked with your psyche a little bit whenever you were little, like you would like look behind doors and shit like that, right? Like I remember like whenever I watched Signs, like that shit scared the fuck out of me as a kid, right?
Okay, so I just want to get to the other shoe drop.
And then I watched was it the M. Night Shyamalan? Was it The Village, right? Where like you're going in there, it's like the red monsters or something. Like yeah, so, like Signs was that for me. Signs fucked me up. Yeah, that's just crazy, right? And anyway, and like now I don't have that perspective at all. But like when you're 7, right? Like that your whole mind is different. And like when you're 14, your whole mind is different. So I think that's what happens is that like you have a lot of these girls that are going on the internet.
Well, I mean, he's talking about it like it's a one-off. It isn't, is the point. It's constantly happening, because if it was just the one time and everybody else was just lovely, then you'd be like, oh, that guy was fucked up. That was a fucked up experience I had with that one guy. It's weird, because like everybody else is amazing, but that one guy sucked. But the point is that is just that age is just when it starts happening. It doesn't stop happening then. It just keeps on getting worse.
Going on social media, they're having these freaks, weirdos, creeps, and pedos going after them, and I think that shades their entire perspective of all men. And the fact is, who can blame them? I don't blame them.
I mean, you realize you're also part of this problem. But, I mean, which is...
Like, the thing is that you might think that women hate men and it's irrational. Ask a woman that you know to read some of their DM requests.
Like, fuck, this is like, okay, this is giving me whiplash, because we started out with this survey, and the title of this video is like, women have gone insane, and then he went into some pretty hardcore anti-Semitism apropos of nothing at all, and then he turns around and says, yeah, actually, how can you blame women for having a low opinion of men? Look at how men treat them. But where he has to, there's no way that he's going to stay on this, like, because that's not who he is. So what the fuck is this? Where is this going to go?
Holy. The Ring of the Grudge? Oh yeah, well I'm saying like, And again, when I talk about this stuff, I try to relate it to people's individual experiences, right? Your personal experience. So whenever I'm talking about, like, let's say this, for example, or something else, I try to make it to where, like, people can understand it and relate it to themselves. Because, you know, again, like, if you're not able to do that, it might be harder to do. Bro, there's a one-way sexual asymmetry. Can you explain why that is? Why is there a sexual asymmetry? Why do men not have that perspective?
Because overwhelmingly, there is sexual abuse there is, like, abuse of men by women and boys by women and stuff like that. That does happen. It doesn't get talked about anywhere near as much as it should be, and it doesn't get taken anywhere near as seriously as it ought to. Often it's a punchline, which is fucked up. But it isn't anywhere near as common or as socially accepted.
Because women are more prized in the sexual environment than men are.
More prized?
Think about it like this. Let me think of a good way to say this.
I mean, you're not going to.
I guess I can use the another old incel quote. This is an incel quote.
Oh God, he's going to use another old incel quote. Wait, there are old incel quotes now. I don't like this timeline. Could we, like, get a do-over on it? I don't like being in a timeline where we have old incel quotes.
From before there were incels. This is an incel quote you'd get from boomers, right? A lock that can be opened by any key is a faulty lock, but a key that can open any lock is a master key.
I mean, in the context of locksmithing, entirely valid. In the sexual content, very fucked up. Misogynistic bullshit.
That's it. And so, and think about it like this, right? I mean, a woman, like, let's say a dude wants to have a kid. Okay, well, you're locked in for, like, maybe 5 minutes. Let's say a woman wants to have a kid. You're locked in for 9 months. And like...
I mean, there's also, like, the actual raising of the kid. That takes a little while, too, last time I checked.
You know, realistically a lot longer than that, because you have to take care of the kid. But, like, at least 9 months.
Well, yeah, thank you for remembering that part. That was easy to forget. Because nobody would want you around their kids.
So the problem is that women are biologically inclined to be the selectors in sex.
Oh, we're back to this. Okay, it's like he actually almost gets to the actual problem, and then he gets into the sort of incel pickup artist bullshit that is a big part of causing the problem that he's talking about.
They have to be. There's no way inside of a society where that doesn't become the case, right?
I mean, there is such a thing as birth control.
And so, yeah, by the makers, exactly. It's basic biology. Like, all of
No,
our...
I mean, no.
Biology and everything about, you know, like, our, you know, like, our being makes it toward that is the case. My mom taught me that quote when I was a teen. I forgot how I found that, but, like, yeah, it was something that happens in nature, too. Yeah, it does. So, like, for example, like, you can have an alpha male in, like, some, you know, wolf pack or something that impregnates 5 different of the female wolves, right? But, and that's the way that a pack survives, and I think that's the way that, you know, like, species evolve. And obviously...
Okay, like, okay, I think we've, the moment has ended.
Like, at a certain point, it becomes a problem because there's interbreeding. But assuming that's not the case, this is obviously where things are in real life, too. And, like, you just look back...
Wait, wolves aren't real life?
Days, right?
I'm pretty convinced that there are indeed wolves in real life.
These Chinese... Like, what's crazy is that... Do you remember that Chinese...
Okay, wait, he's about to... Now he's about to say some shit about Chinese people.
Billionaire that everybody was saying was like a great example of birthright citizenship fraud, where he's paid like 100 kids to like 100 of his kids to like go over and be born in America.
Wait, he paid them to be born? How does that work? Like, what, are you bribing the fetus?
The reason why he's doing that is that you are playing the odds. Think about it like this.
If you're a fucking billionaire, you don't need to play the odds. You already are heavily favored by the odds.
I don't have a dice, right? But like, if you want to roll a 20, do you want 2 chances or do you want 100 chances? I'd rather have 100 rerolls, right? And so a lot of these guys, especially, and this is the way they looked at.
Like, what the fuck does it? Okay, now what the fuck did that have to do with anything?
You're beating the odds, right? Because, like, what if you have a kid and the kid's retarded? Like, I don't mean like a mental illness.
Oh, wonderful. God, he's just really lovely.
Like they're just stupid. Like, what if you have a kid and he doesn't understand what a triangle is? Oh my god. Well, you're the Chinese emperor. He has to understand triangles, and he doesn't.
Is that a requirement for Chinese emperors?
Doesn't get it. Fuck, right? And now you have there's a big problem. This is.
Wait, and so the idea is that if your kids are born in a particular place, they're going to be more likely to understand triangles?
It's a huge problem. And so what do? You have 100 kids, and guaranteed at least one of these kids is going to know what a triangle is. So.
Hey, Riveroon. See, for a minute there, Askold was talking about how actually the reason women have a very low opinion of men is that so many men treat women like shit. And I was sitting here wondering how the hell is he going to take this and end up turning it back into something horrific, because there's no way he's going to start saying you need to treat women with respect, because that's just not the guy he is, and that's not the stream he does. And so apparently the way he's done it is through a little bit of like anti-Chinese racism.
It happens
and triangles.
I think, or be with a smart person, exactly. And so that's why they have a bunch of kids, and like, you know, that's the way dynasties would do things, right? That's why many of these older families, like, you know, in antiquity, they would have, you know, dozens of kids.
I mean, it didn't have to do with fucking triangles. That was because at the time, before modern medicine, you had to, because a lot of them didn't survive.
Yes, obviously they would die through childbirth. That's another reason, but it's not the only reason. So, my point with this, right, going back to what I was saying with this, is that,
okay, now he's gonna bring it home.
The reason why I think women are having this happen. So, number one, I think...
Having what happen? Because a minute ago he was talking about it was men treating women like shit. And maybe the reason that that's happening is that nobody's telling, like, boys that shit isn't okay.
I think that definitely 100% it is because a lot of women are getting groomed on the internet while they're underage, and it causes them to, it basically poisons the well for men. And number two, this,
I mean, groomed by whom though? I mean,
second reason is that women are much more strongly compelled to observe things by consensus rather than by a rational critical thinking thing.
What? Yeah, that's what he started out with. He said men are into sex, women are into consensus, and then he didn't know what consensus meant.
And this is not a, you know, again, there's no like fucking, like I'm not being sexist here. This is
you kind of are actually.
Fact. It's just a literal fact. And so, because of that,
as opposed to a figurative fact,
happens is that, you know, like, pedos, yeah, true, and then Ricardo Kid Mulligan and try again. Yeah, there's Mulligan 7, you know, like, hopefully, right? And
yeah, I mean, and the ableism, the ableism. I mean, it's like there's so much shit.
Young women are the best and aggressive revolutionaries due to being empaths. Well, young women are only good revolutionaries in an environment where their level of aggression is not punished, right?
There's no world in which wishing to upset the existing order is not going to be punished by the order that you're trying to upset. That's kind of a fundamental thing about how this shit works. That's kind of the point of a power structure, is that if somebody says, you know, I want to upset this power structure, I want to change the way things are done, the power structure can come down on them. That's just normal.
So young women are actually terrible revolutionaries, and they can never be revolutionaries.
Why?
The only real revolutionaries and the only real force for change in society.
Oh, great! We get to hear his take on revolutionaries now too.
Can only ever be men.
Oh well, of course.
Because
we knew that was coming.
Men are bigger, stronger, faster, and they will always outperform women in any sort of a test of force.
Is that the only thing that you need for a revolution, chat? I mean, I have to say, on a certain level, that this is I actually think it's kind of good that reactionaries have such a poor grasp of these things, because it means that actually they are potentially going to be easier to defeat as a result, because they will think it's all just about force, and they will neglect all the stuff that makes force even possible, and then we can just kind of kick their asses.
This will always be the case. So the only cases where women are powerful in terms of a revolutionary sense is in societies that allow aggression to exist unchecked, which is our society.
Wait, okay. What? Like, I got nothing. I literally do not understand what the hell he just said.
And it should be any good society. Like, somebody should be able to be aggressive without being punched in the face, right? And very clearly.
Wait, I mean, what does he mean by aggressive, though?
Women have more radical ideologies and adopt them way quicker than men. Well, why do they do that, though? They do that in order to fit in, obviously, with the group, right? I mean, that's the reason why.
But that doesn't work because somebody... That doesn't work because, like, so then the group just automatically already had more radical ideologies? Like, the survey, if you came in late, the survey that he was just looking at of, like, British women 30 and under... also found that they were much more likely to think that communism sounded like a good idea. I mean, in general, it was kind of a good news piece. But, like, if it's about consensus and it's about fitting in with the group, then how did the group end up taking that view?
And that's, again, the...
I wonder if he's ever actually met a woman.
The compelling nature of consensus for women. And I think that social media manufactures that consensus. And sometimes it is that consensus. And so once women see, and I think that's also men, and men do this too, but when...
Well, you just said it was the thing about women, so now men do this too?
Women just do it at a much higher ratio. And once they see that, well, everybody thinks this and everybody's believing this, then they go with it.
But why were so many people believing it then?
And they start moving with it. And then that's it. Consensus stops progress. Well, whether it stops it or not, that's what's...
Yeah, it kind of depends on what the consensus is about.
Happening, right? That's my point. And read articles on Time to Lie as to what being a progressive actually means.
This does not surprise me.
Lisa Retro, I know the brand of angry young woman well. They remind me of the arts and politics students I used to critique. 95% were women. Almost all of their ideas were the same, all lacking in originality and bravery. Every pitch just a spineless rehash combo in LGBT and feminist sound bites. It was so tiresome. And these were master students. One of the world's most prestigious... That's the problem. And there's...
Who the fuck is this guy? The Tin Men blog.
It's also a big issue is that a lot of these women that are getting into college probably shouldn't be there. Like, they're getting fake degrees for fake jobs. It's a waste of everybody's time and resources. And the only reason why it's happening...
Well, I mean, it's always nice when somebody who... A little bit of education would actually do him a world of good, I think. Decides what the fake degrees are.
Thing is because of DEI. It's because of DEI and other forms of selective hiring processes.
Individualist explains revolution challenge. Impossible. Oh, he says that it's because of DEI. That's why there are women in universities.
That's what's happening. Like, a lot of this... And by the way...
This is in Britain, mind you. They don't actually... Well, they don't call it that.
How do you know this is true?
Oh, well, he doesn't. It isn't.
Because of Twitter. Elon
Oh, well, I mean, because of Twitter. I mean, that...
Musk, and I've got to say, now I'm not trying to put Elon on the spot here, right? But let's look at this here.
Oh, great, let's...
I want to show you guys this. There's no image of this.
I mean, I don't really know much about his backstory except, like, the dead rat. And somebody in chat, maybe that was you, Riveroon, or somebody else, was saying that at one point he actually had sort of pro-trans and progressive views on his stream years ago, and then at some point he realized that the real money was in fast shit. But, I mean, I would say he seems uneducated. He does not seem like somebody who has spent a lot of time with books. And he does not seem like somebody who's necessarily had a real job either. But I don't know I don't know the backstory. I do not know his origin story.
Well, I guess I can't find it. I'm sorry. But there were two pictures posted. One was a picture of before they made the change of the Twitter team, and then after they made the change of the Twitter team.
So back when Twitter actually worked, and ever since then when everything is constantly falling apart.
And it went from a romance novel book club to a Warhammer 40K convention. Let me just say that. Let me just say that, all right? Totally changed. Before and after Twitter team? Okay, I'll see if I can...
Okay, I'm going to switch to something else for the last half hour. Because we've got a bunch of other things. Let me see. Trump loses this is David Pacman. Trump loses mind on friends as war backfires badly. I mean, and speaking of the war backfiring on the people who started it, I don't know what it is about that fucking sweater, but that sweater pisses me off. It looks like a fursuit that he's missing the headpiece on for some reason. It's like Jolly the Sea Otter on a smoke break or something. But, okay, what the fuck was I about to say? So, oh yeah, the other night I was watching Al Mayadeen live, and watching people in Lebanon actually celebrating as they headed back south. See, Israel had said that they were not going to allow people to go back to the south, you know, that the ethnic cleansing was going to stay that way. And yeah, the resistance in Lebanon was not on that page, and Iran was not on that page, and now Israel is, it seems, having to actually comply with a ceasefire for, like, the first time ever. I mean, not touch wood, who knows how long that's going to last. But it appears that there is intent to enforce it.
Like you're paying every month and the balance barely moves. Our sponsor PDS Debt offers custom options for credit cards, personal loans, and medical bills with no minimum credit score required. They've helped 100.
Calling all four of these ardent supporters of his stupid and with low IQs running third-rate podcasts. He called Tucker Carlson a broken man who needs a good psychiatrist. He went to one of his old go-tos insulting Candace Owens on her looks, which is what he does for any woman who dares disagree with him.
I mean, okay, we missed a starting point here. Yeah, teddy bear costume or something, or tanuki costume.
I am not sure which timeline of the multiverse we're in, but Donald Trump, whichever one we're in right now, Donald Trump has gone completely bonkers.
Hey, Badger.
I'm Josh Gay.
Wait, like what? As opposed to the like rationality that he was exuding before this?
From the Ring of Fire, filling in for David Pacman, and you can catch me at youtube.com/The Ring of Fire. And look, you told me 2 years ago that Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Alex Jones would be some of the loudest voices calling for the 25th Amendment to remove Donald Trump from office. I would have asked if you'd been drinking what Hegseth was drinking.
Hey, Tomas.
then I would probably ask for some more there, but here we are. And Trump posts a 482-word rant on Truth Social.
Actually, I think we're gonna do something a little bit different. Here we go. Sneeko interviews two of the world's most prominent fascist grifters, Alexander Dugin and fake Professor Jiang. Like, both of them in the same place.
Hey, hello. Hi.
Hey, like, when you put these two in the same place, that is like that is the harbinger of the coming of Gozer.
Good to hear from you.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Do you hear me?
Yeah. Hear you loud and clear.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Great. Perfect. Excellent.
All right. Just want to make sure that we have everything set up here.
Darya Dugina, the book of his daughter who got car bombed that time.
Professor Jiang, should I have the document you sent me earlier?
Yes, that is Professor Dugan's PowerPoint, and I think it'd be a good framework for discussion.
Oh, great.
Do you think that it's worth screen sharing or privately looking at it?
Yeah. I mean, I think what we should do is maybe go...
Okay, we're gonna skip the admin.
The thing to understand about eschatology is that behind eschatology is also national character, the soul of a nation is in our modern era. And the thing to understand about eschatology is that behind eschatology is also...
Eschatology?
National character, the soul of a nation. That's why eschatology is so important, because eschatology is this expression of your national soul.
Okay. Do you have major disagreements? And well, first of all, how well do you know each other?
Like, first of all, like the concept of a national soul. Okay, this could be how well do these two fast grifters know each other?
Okay. So, can I ask you, Alexander Dugin, or if I'll just call you Professor Dugin, what is your...
He's not a professor, but I mean, neither is this other jabroni, so why don't we... Well, we're just giving out professor titles over at Sneeko's place.
Or...
Yeah, is anyone fancy a professorship? Apparently Sneeko's just handing them out.
Analysis of Professor Jiang's lectures, and what do you think he gets correct and incorrect with eschatology?
Oh, he's saying eschatology. But... eschatology only actually, like, not every religious tradition even has eschatology, though. Yeah, but you'll remember from the last time we had a look at the non-existent Professor Jiang, that he seems to think that Jews and evangelicals have the same end-time views.
So, first of all, I have many Chinese friends in China, a huge amount of friends, and when I have...
Oh, wow. That's always a great way to start out. I have many Chinese friends.
When I was speaking to them, I have remarked that almost nobody knew anything about eschatology.
Well, I mean, that does not distinguish them from Jiang, though.
Chinese culture is very particular in my opinion. It is very balanced. The Confucianist, the balance between male and female, between yin and yang. So that is the heart.
Well, so of course his idea of Chinese culture is a few hundred years out of date.
That prevails. So it is not about time, not about history, not about final combat, final battle, but more than that, about how we need to make things to be very in peaceful way.
I mean, he has actually advocated conquering and balkanizing China. It's worth noting.
In the harmony. And my very good friends in China, they always ask me, what is going on in the Middle East? What is about...
Why are they asking him?
This...
Well, I mean, they're the sort of people who actually would consider him a good friend. I mean, they're clearly not very discerning.
Zionism. Why there is so important to have Greater Israel? Why it's so important to be dispensationalist in Protestant circles, in evangelical So, and as well, they didn't understand Russian categoric idea of our eschatology. And after that, after having very good and fruitful discussions...
I mean, I don't think he understands these things either.
With my Chinese friends, I have, it seems that it was on your stream, Sneeko. So I have remarked that unique Chinese man who has shown the very deep understanding of eschatology, of this end time concept in the context of Judaism, of Zionism, in the Shia and the Islamic tradition, and I was very, very astonished because
Wait, is he saying that Zhang has a profound knowledge of eschatology?
Discussions with my Chinese friends I have it seems that it was on your stream, Sneeko. So I have remarked that unique Chinese man who has shown the very deep understanding of eschatology, of this end time.
He's saying that he thinks that Zhang knows what the fuck he's talking. Like, Zhang thinks that Jews think Jesus is their savior.
Concept in the context of Judaism, of Zionism, in the Shia and the Islamic tradition, and I was very, very astonished because, in my opinion, that was the first and maybe unique Chinese scholar of such serious level who easily understands this very special.
Okay, they're just giving each other blowjobs for now. I mean, all this glazing and not a single donut.
Better each other. We need to get deep in the respective traditions.
Why has he got cling film on his coffee?
Maybe this tradition.
Is he trying to avoid fingerprints? Like, did he break into this house and he doesn't want to leave fingerprints on the coffee mug? What the fuck is... Why is there cling film on that shit?
This could be close to us or far from us, but we should pay some efforts to understand better each other.
Absolutely. And, well, I have a couple questions for you, Alexander. I wanted to figure out more about your belief system because I saw some people are reporting that you have esoteric traditions, or some are saying that you're...
Like, apparently.
Orthodox Christian. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is. So in your own words, what would you classify your belief system
Well, I mean, he's a fascist. He's a Nazbol. He's the guy who invented Nazbols.
And before you answer, people are asking in the chat what eschatology is. Maybe Professor Zhang could quickly describe it the best way, but I was...
Oh wow, yes, let's get into it. The guy who clearly doesn't know anything about any of it really ought to tell us what it is.
Just say end times philosophy.
Right. So eschatology comes from the Greek word eschaton, which means the end. So the word literally means the study of the end. And what eschatology often refers to is each religious tradition's understanding of the end point of history. Why are we here? Where are we going? Where do we come from? And the idea of eschatology is to figure out the point at which God and man reunifies, which brings about the end of history.
I mean, what he's describing there, that's not... I mean, that is a very specific religious tradition's view of the thing. He seems to think that that's just how all religious traditions think. Because they don't. Like, you would...
So that's the general idea.
Okay. And obviously, Professor Zhang is... I don't want to misclassify...
I mean, and I should just ask, maybe chat, somebody knows this better than I do, because I never heard of Sneeko until this context came up. Like, I heard about Sneeko because he was interviewing these two fascist grifters.
Your belief system, but last time we spoke a little bit about Gnosticism. I saw recently on the Patrick Red David show, you said at the end that you pray to God. So I would maybe say that it's general Gnosticism, but not specific to one theology. Is that correct?
General Gnosticism? Like, Gnosticism is kind of is specific to a theology.
Yeah, so for most of my life, I'm atheist. In China is an atheist society. I didn't grow up with any atheist tradition, so I didn't grow up with any religious tradition. And quite honestly, I was very skeptical towards religion all my life, especially towards Christianity. But these past 2 years, because I've been deep in the study of eschatology, the Kabbalah,
that is not eschatology, incidentally.
Geopolitics, I started to develop a more Gnostic framework, but I would not say that I have one religious loyalty.
I can find a similarity.
Like, Gnosticism is a particular fucking philosophical direction within Christianity, for fuck's sake.
Learning more about Epstein back in 2019 helped steer me in the direction.
Wait. Oh god, that...
trying to find some sense of good, because there's so much evil, and obviously Alexander Dugin just spelled out how you speak about Sabbatai Zevi, which is not often mentioned. This is what going to be in the direction to look into faith. But can I ask you specifically?
Wait. You find out about Epstein, and that makes you get into religion?
Professor Dugan, so what would you classify your faith as?
So first of all, I'm a Christian Orthodox. So I'm Orthodox Christian, and that defines in what I believe. That is my confession, that is my church, that is my religious doctrine, and everything I could say outside of the context. It is about status. It is not about recognition of my own faith. My own personal and Russian faith is precisely Christian Orthodox religion. So I believe it is the only truth. So in that sense, I am believer, normal Christian Orthodox believer. But at the same time, I'm very interested by different other spiritual tradition. And in that sense, philosophically, I'm traditionalist. What means to be traditionalist?
Well, it means in his case that he's a fascist. I mean, then to the extent that when Dugin left the Nazbols, the party actually moved left, like the original Nazbols.
The main thing we share, all the traditionalists, we share this refusal of the Western modernity. So we can accept different traditions, but we consider the modernity to be absolutely wrong.
Right.
Atheism.
Oh, absolutely wrong in all respects, because, I mean, you seem to be embracing certain aspects of it.
Progressism, enlightenment, all that things are totally evil. So that, but trying to
so, like, so just straight up reactionary.
Own understanding of what are different traditions, different than mine, than Christian Orthodox. I have studied as well the Kabbalah, the Judaism, Islam, Shia, Ishraq tradition, Christianity,
like. I love how people who have absolutely no connection to Jewish tradition just talk about the Kabbalah as if that was just like something a la carte, as opposed to a very specific part of a very specific collection of religious traditions that really does not, that you can't just kind of separate out.
Atheism, of Protestantism, and many other, Hinduism, for
okay, so all religions, basically.
example, Buddhism and Confucianism and Taoism, all that, Gnosticism, and including some counter-tradition, counter-spiritual forms of tradition, all that is the path of this study. But my confession, my only position as believer, so I believe in absolute truth of Christian Orthodox doctrine.
Right. I think you gave a good segue for what I can relate to what's happened recently. I'm sure, Professor Jan, you saw this as well. So yesterday was Orthodox Easter, if I'm not mistaken. I think the week before was Catholic Easter. And Donald Trump recently posted, well, something interesting on both Sundays. On Easter Sunday, he said, "Praise be to Allah, open up the effing straight." This is on Catholic Easter. And then yesterday, first he posts a long paragraph about the...
Wait, is there a separate Protestant Easter? I mean, I know Catholics have a few additional things that they also do around Easter, but my understanding is that it's really the only date difference in the world of like Easter is between the Orthodoxy and the Eastern Orthodoxy and kind of everybody else.
Pope, and he says the Pope is very weak on crime. This is not a joke. He says the Pope is weak on crime, and then afterwards he posts an AI image of himself
as Jesus,
his face on Jesus, and he's putting his hand on what looks like a, to me it looked like Jeffrey Epstein, and in the back it looks like
a lot of people said Jon Stewart.
Roman god, Libertas, the Statue of Liberty goddess. Some people are saying that that's Malak flying in the sky, and that was also altered. My point is, when I announced this stream, speaking.
Wait, okay.
With Professor Jang and Alexander Dugin. To be perfectly honest, it went all over Twitter, and people were saying, Sneeko is speaking to a CCP propagandist and a KGB propagandist. He's speaking to...
which is wild because, I mean, Jung is definitely not taking the CCP line. In fact, I've actually heard him being described as an anti-CCP propagandist. And Dugin certainly is not actually taking a pro-Soviet line. Like, they're just regular fucking fascists.
China and Russian spies. And they started saying, here they are to talk about how Western values are decaying. And I thought, okay, well, they're going to criticize this. They're going to say that there should be some sort of foreign influence. Well, our entire political lobby has been infiltrated by Zionists. Very clearly, everybody...
I mean, no. That's not how that worked. Zionism, I mean... Yeah. Yeah, Jung and Dugin in the same place, and this fucking Sneeko, who I don't know who the hell he is. I, like, literally the only reason I know about him is because he's hosting these jabronis. But... Nazi sympathy and hate speech. Sneeko has refused to call Hitler evil, writing on X that people should not bash Hitler for killing Jewish people and making disturbing anti-Semitic roleplay comments. Ah, okay. So, Nazi. Okay, so it's just a bunch of fash. Okay, that really does kind of clear it up for me. Thank you.
It seems like has dual allegiance to Israel, first off. So there's foreign influence everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, the wild thing about what he just said here is that this is actually the reason that before 1967, Jews in the U.S. largely were ambivalent about Israel. Because being accused of, like, divided loyalties and shit like that was a fairly standard thing. And having a state that claimed to be the state of all Jews was just creating a tangible manifestation of that accusation. What changed was that Israel did some stuff that the U.S. was trying to do and was having some trouble with by crushing Nasserism in the 1960s, in 1967 specifically. And thereafter, the U.S. foreign policy establishment decided Israel was actually possibly quite useful, and then Zionism suddenly became a thing. Misogyny, manosphere content associated with Andrew Tate. Sneeko, wow, this gets better and better. Sneeko often promotes red pill content advocating against women's right to vote and blaming pride flags in classrooms for social issues. Ah, okay. Yeah, that clarifies many things.
Second,
where are you getting this from, River Rude?
What exactly are Western American values? How could that be described? Alexander Dugin, you, I think, accurately described it, and you spoke to what a lot of people are feeling right now, and that the modern Western values that we see, a lot of people are becoming disillusioned with. A lot of people are not happy with what they see. And if that is described by what we see in Euphoria, the new TV show, Sydney Sweeney dressed up like a baby, you know, doing this weird fetish thing. Not to make it too disgusting early, but what we see everywhere that's promoted in the media, and even from our politicians, the leader of the free world, the commander...
Wait, he thinks that modern Western values are embodied by one TV show?
Chief of our military, depicting himself as what Christians believe to be God. This is not what so many people want to sign up to follow.
Well, I mean, and in fact, the fact that he had to walk that back would suggest that there was a lot of pushback within those Western values against that, because there is a lot that your right-wing evangelical fucks will go along with, even if it is absolutely, supposedly anathema to everything they believe in. As long as it allows them to slag off the people they want to slag off. But, like, declaring yourself Jesus is probably, it turns out to be a bridge too far.
What do you think are the main causes of the problems we see with American Western values right now? Maybe we could start with Professor Jen.
Right. So, I think the root of the problem is 1694, because that is when the Bank of England was first chartered.
Wait, okay, so 1694, the Bank of England is chartered, and as a result, Sydney Sweeney has a TV show, and Donald Trump declares himself Jesus. That's a slow burn.
And the Bank of England, the idea was that it would take transnational capital and lend it to the nation state of England.
Well, no, I mean, they're not upset with bourgeois politics. They're the embodiment of the recovery of bourgeois politics. This is bourgeois politics, Jiang and Dugan. This is what bourgeois politics turns into when the bourgeoisie starts to get worried.
Parliament as the guarantor, okay? So previously, if you were a king and you wanted to fight a war, you need to hire mercenaries. So you borrowed money from merchants who lent you gold in order to finance the war. The problem with this is that the king may die, you may lose the war, or the king may renege on the contract. So there's high risk for merchants to work with kings. So the Bank of England solved this problem because now Dutch merchants could lend money to England and it'd be guaranteed by Parliament, the nation state. And this was a revolution in European affairs, because now England had instant financing. It could fight a war against someone like Napoleon and keep on fighting until Napoleon was finally defeated. So it took seven wars for Napoleon to be defeated by...
Okay, and this...
the British.
I mean, this is what he does. Like, he also said that this, like, I saw him in the last thing we watched. He was talking about how this all is down to the Rosicrucians and the Knights Templars. That they're the reason for all this. I mean, because the thing is, if you're talking to a really ignorant audience of just absolute rubes, there's no more bigger power move than mentioning a date in the remote past that they do not associate with anything, and then saying, yeah, see, this all came down. This all really goes back to 1694 and the chartering of the Bank of England, and people and like the sort of people who watch this crap are like, holy shit, I had no idea there was a Bank of England. It was chartered, dude. Wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. It is an absolute power move, because all it does is throw ignorant people off balance. And it is now time to wrap up for the week. Thank you so much for joining in. It's always good to see you. And do check out the crowdfunded translation project. There are always new translations being added or new tasters from the current project. And support for the project is also always very much appreciated. Have a good night, and you may... Extremely Young fans met him on video and were ecstatic to say a bunch of hate speech, trying to impress him. I did not hear about this, but yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, well, see you on Friday at